Welcome, welcome everybody to Age of Radio. Mercury, it must be Friday because we are live again for our podcasting and pop culture news show, one of the Age of Radio originals. And I am very excited to be here with my good friend Trey. Trey, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been a good week.
What? What now? What?
What did he say?
I don't know. My mic started falling. I'm never satisfied with anything that I own. Isn't that the crux of life, I suppose? That nothing's exactly ever what it is supposed to be and how I want it to be.
I suppose. Gotta love that hedonic treadmill thing. I think that's right.
we have a fun show in store for you, like we do every single week. We're gonna jump into here in a few moments the Sony State of Play, which I'm really excited for. And I also must say, I feel like we played the Wolverine trailer before everybody else was playing the Wolverine trailer. And now I feel like we played it first, and now everybody is clipping it and playing it on Instagram. And those people have many more views than us. So make sure that you like and subscribe to us on YouTube, and make sure that you follow us on Instagram at Age of Radioverse as well. We're also going to talk a little bit about Hollywood's new Masters of Horror, which happens to be YouTubers, which I guess that kind of makes sense. I've heard some things about the back room that was pretty good, and Obsession, back room, both of them, back rooms. Back rooms is the one that a bunch of my friends went and saw, and then there's also Obsession. So we'll dive into that a little bit, as now YouTube is taking over the big screen as well. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the passing of Anthony Head, who was I believe the beloved librarian on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, if I'm not mistaken, and he has passed away. He was also in Ted Lasso. And then we have, of course, other news as well. But before we do that, Trey, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing awesome. Didn't get as much done this week as last week. Those articles, I guess, must have taken a lot out of me, even though I want to get more articles out. But the stuff came in. I'm wearing the headphones, and this is the mouse. If I can get it on the camera here.
All right. So I don't know if you're able to do that. So it stands upright and you hold it.
So you hold it like
this.
You hold it like, where's the flipping camera? Don't know if you hold it like this.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Like that.
I like how your camera follows you. Is that your iPhone?
Yep.
So are you in StreamYard on your iPhone and you have it set up and then you're sitting there? Is that what's happening?
It's on my computer, and then I have Apple Macs have this feature called continuity camera. I just plug my iPhone into the Mac, and it uses the iPhone's rear cameras.
Did you like the new Wealth Transfer podcast?
I did like it.
That was a pretty fun one. I think we're getting much better at like joking and interrupting each other. I mean, I guess maybe I'm getting really good at those things, interrupting people when they're talking, but it's crazy that has, I mean, I guess it's not crazy. That channel has 250,000 followers. So I guess it makes sense that we would have 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 people on the live. I never know, because whenever I go into it, I'm doing a link and I don't actually sign into the StreamYard because I have this StreamYard. So like it brings me in as a guest. And so I never know how many people are actually watching it live on all of the platforms.
Yeah, you guys have really good, this is probably the wrong word. You guys have really good symmetry. Like you guys work together extremely well.
I think that was the correct word for that. That or chemistry. Chemistry would have made it feel like we were in love with each other. But chemistry would be a good word as well. But symmetry, I guess that's like really the same, like kind of similar. If you don't know about the New Wealth Transfer podcast, it comes out every Friday at 12:15. So I spend most of my days making content, and I'm working on making some other content. And I'm really excited, Trey, because we actually, this last week, I've been training up Belch, one of our new tech team people for Age of Radio. And I had the training. What we did was we went ahead and used Mercury to create the Mercury podcast feed. So now Mercury is everywhere people get podcasts, and it does live video on Spotify. So that's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
In fact, I think that deserves an applaud. We should really do more sounds. Let's see what other sound. We have heartbeat. There's bounce. When would you use this? when would you use this specific freaking sound? I can see maybe a gong. Like if you make a joke and I'm all or drum roll bongos. We should do that right before prediction time. We can be like, all right, guys, you know what time it is? Prediction time.
You got that? That's fixed now.
I don't.
Oh wait, no, that's the one that didn't have the.
No, that's fit. I don't know. I don't know what was broken or what was. Actually, I like that. That might be. I'm gonna have to try to do that next time we do a prediction time. You know what I stopped doing, because maybe it's just because I got better at controlling how I speak. I don't feel like I say amazing as much as I used to, and I don't push this button anymore.
No, you don't use. I don't know if it's because I don't register the word even. So I don't know.
I'm imagining it's because I go back and try to watch these and try to correct the way in which I go into different topics, or I go into ways in which I should kind of pause a little bit more to slow down. And I think that because of that, I've been more cognizant, or I've been saying it so much and no one's been recognizing it because we haven't been throwing up the amazing, that I just completely am using it all the time and not even paying attention to any of it. I don't know. It's one of those things. One of those things is the true thing. Have you done any Substacks, Trey, this week? Was there a new Substack?
There was not a new one. Did you get a chance to read the ones last week? Because I was really proud of those.
No. the one last week was the one I started to read and never finished it, that sounded really, really good. Right? Because didn't I mention that?
Yes, you did mention that. And I put out 4 last week.
My gosh, I did not get notified for all 4 of those. Does that mean we should probably reach out to Substack and yell at them?
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about their stuff. Honestly, I just put out the articles.
And then you just go, do you ever look at your analytics and see how they're doing? Do you like, one of the reasons why I don't like looking at analytics as often is because then I feel like I get super, super anal about it, and I'm constantly going back and checking it. I like it where someone else is reviewing the analytics and then they just tell me about what's happening and what I need to do better, which I think is something that Josh does really good for CJV, is that he like manages all that. And then he analyzes it. And then he is like, well, we need to do this better based off of this, this, and this. And then they go and try to do that.
Fair enough. I wish that Substack had more statistics, because I would really like to know like how far people get through the articles. Right now, it's kind of just here's how many people, quote unquote, read your article, or at least opened it anyway.
Yeah, one of the things. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
To be fair, like I check it probably more than I should, but I also I think all of my articles got a total of like 24 to 30 views last week. Total.
That's still pretty good.
That's not
like
bad.
More than my podcast sometimes gets, because people never know when I'm putting out an episode. And then I have to go advertise. Podcasting is so weird. Like some months you'll have like 1,000 or 2,000 downloads, and then like the next month or higher, right? And some of the other cases it could be 30,000, whatever, of some of the shows that are on the network. But in my case, and then when you go to some of the other episodes, it's like you have like a 100 download a week. And I think that's just because there's so much content out there that people are constantly vibing, or not vibing. They're constantly like trying to get more attention to their stuff. So people kind of like go wherever like the thing that's being pushed to them at that moment is. At least that's my feeling.
That makes sense. I also think it's a very creator focused type deal.
That could be. Did you watch any of Sony State of Play?
I watched the whole thing.
Dang, Trey! Man, what was your favorite? Okay, well, let's do Wolverine so we can. Now, we watched Wolverine. Was it last week we watched Wolverine?
I think it was the week before. Yeah.
I actually might buy this. I'm not a huge fan of Wolverine, but this game looks super fun.
It does.
Can I not? I don't know what happened here. Hold on. Bad things are going to happen here, Trey.
Let's see if we can find the one that got away. Redhead. Might be our only lead. Looks like she took off into the industrial park. All right, let's search the area. Status update.
Perimeter stable. Holding position. Oh my God!
No answer. Stay sharp. I don't like this. Should do another sweep. It's too quiet.
The combat's really brutal.
I know, it's awesome. If you like that kind of thing, Trey. Right, how long is this clip? My gosh, what the hell's that? Is that a little alien kid? Or am I? Trey, were you able to see that?
I couldn't see it.
Dude, Game Informer needs to fix how they connect these things. I can't click on this and then, like, I have to open up YouTube, and because StreamYard sucks at certain things, I can't switch this over.
Yeah, well, and just on my end, just so you know, it's skipping frames and even like freezing for a second or two pretty
Really? Because
regularly.
I haven't pulled it up on Instagram, and it's looking really good. I'm gonna say that might be your fault. Normally it would be my fault.
There you are, Red.
All looking great.
Gene, is that you? Don't worry. You're not going anywhere.
Everyone shoot! You son of a bitch!
I actually like this being a bit more gritty than Spider-Man and a little bit more, I guess, adult rated.
Oh yeah, this is the first game that I like, Marvel game that I've seen that I'm very more interested in playing. And like I said, I'm not even really a big fan of Wolverine.
And see, I would play it just because Insomniac is my all-time favorite game company.
All right, well, it's going to keep going. Same release date, September 15th, 2026. Lots of violent and bloody gameplay. And, of course, Jean Grey, Mystique, and Sabretooth will show up in it as well. And moving right along, Marvel Tokone Fighting Souls. Is it Token? Tokone. Tokone? How do you say that?
I think that might be an ad. I did not see that in the...
No, this is Knights Marvel Token Fighting Souls Knights of Doom trailer.
Oh. Okay.
Magneto Green Goblin. So it's Magneto, Green Goblin, Carnage, join Marvel Token Fighting Souls. Still the same release date, August 6, 2026. A new look at Fighting Souls gameplay, including some new visuals for the stages and more. Green Goblin will be voiced by Steve Bloom. Carnage will be voiced by Kellen Goff. And Doctor Doom will be voiced by Sungwon Cho. And again, I can't. Okay, this is ridiculous. Hold on. Remind me when we're billionaires try to buy StreamYard. Oh my gosh, stop playing. We got to go back. Hold on. Everyone who's out there, hold your horses. We're just switching the screen because the way that sound works. Freaking StreamYard. I'm telling you. Okay, stop screen. Now we got to share the screen again. Now we got to share the YouTube video. And we'll have to do this for every single freaking preview that we watch. I'm really excited about it. But I have maybe... Nope. It's going to open up a brand new... It's going to open up a brand new tab. All right. Let's see here.
Prepare to face the supreme master of the pugilistic art, the Duke of Get Your Dukes Up, Mr. Champion!
Actions are worth more than any.
That's not a very creative name.
And the greatest action to fight. You have defeated so many. You've defeated whole worlds, but you've never fought Doom. Let me show you why you should kneel. Think you're a genius, Doom? Your works are mere trinkets. My genius is endless. And now my turn. You made promises, Doom, and those promises shall be kept.
This violence will solve nothing, Eric.
My dearest Roro, mutant kind shall rise, and I will be the one to lead the way.
Showtime! You look a little angry, Bug. I'm still holding a grudge. Currency, huh?
Time to stop laughing, Gobby.
That all you got? Off the way! What? I'm gonna kill Spider-Man, not you! You want to fight? Carnage will give you one to the death!
Moment has come! Attack! Mercy.
Let me do it! I'll slice you up! Don't be greedy! He's mine!
Knights of Doom, destroy them! Feel my wrath! The end is near.
All right, so what is Marvel Tucken Fighting Souls?
I know exactly what it is now.
Oh, what is it?
It is so I have two ideas. First, I thought it was one of those stupid mobile games like Raid Shadow Legends. You know, the ones that are like a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
But no, I think this is a spiritual successor to Marvel versus Capcom. It seems like a fighting game to me.
But I'm so confused. So Green Goblin, Carnage, and Doctor Doom are new additions to Fighting Souls. But is this game already out? I'm confused on what's happening here.
No, the game's not out yet. It is still coming out, but they're putting out more and more characters for it to get people excited.
Got it. All right, Rayman Legends Retold is a remake of Rayman's Best Adventure, and they played it for 2 hours. Release date October 1st on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, which I swear that I had an Xbox S somewhere. I have no idea where it is, Trey. We put on the new TV because we bought a new TV, and then we got a new stand, and then I went to the bedroom to get my Xbox. I bought a new Xbox X. I have an Xbox S. I have no idea where it's at. It's driving me freaking crazy. All right.
It's always a pain in the butt.
Yeah, everything's pains in the butt. You know what's also a pain in the butt? StreamYard. Having to freaking change these and pause this and restart it. Why can't it just share the freaking thing? Because I think when we share the full screen and do audio, actually, you know what? Let's test it out for fun. I'm going to test it out for fun right now. To see if you can hear anything, Trey. You ready?
Yep.
And see if it messes up all of the audio.
I'm being very careful with my my
Swearing?
talking during videos. No, I don't usually swear that often unless I'm really in the moment. No, because every time I talk, I hear the video have some kind of a problem right after I talk.
I don't know. I think that that's just something. I don't know. I don't experience that, but I'm sure that this is going to be much worse. So let's just check it out. And this is Rayman Legends Retold.
I see much from my perch atop the tree of tranquility. Yet, there are some outcomes that are uncertain, even to me. Dragons! Let's roll! Your heroics will no doubt be the stuff of tales twice told throughout the Glade of Dreams.
Come feed my ox!
Calming biscuits? But, oh!
Look at those pretzels.
Follow
I'm so
me,
hungry.
brave heroes. The Glade of Dreams is in grave danger.
It's time I made my mark.
It's 4 against 1! You don't stand a chance! Maybe he stands a little bit of a chance. Globots to the rescue!
I am as fast as a milk god! Quick size!
For the Glade, then!
You think this ends here?
Cool! I'm here!
Are you ready for our game, Rayman?
That looks really fun.
That does look really fun. I genuinely wonder, because I feel like, does anybody else feel like Rayman has kind of the Sonic problem where everybody looks at the much older games way better than they look at the much newer games? So the majority of their stuff they put out nowadays is remakes.
Yeah, I think that is. Yeah, I can agree with you on that. But that does look really fun. But I think that it does have that problem. There's not because this is a remake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they have a new villain in a reworked storyline, so it's some additions to it. But I think that it does have that same problem, and they're not innovating or making a new space for it. Probably just because of the cost of making a video game these days. I would imagine it's expensive, maybe, and maybe they don't think they'll get the return. I don't know. All right, did you watch this one, Boncho Chef?
I don't remember. The last 3, I don't even remember.
Oh my gosh, Legacy of Atlantis Tomb Raider. Did you watch this one?
I did.
Does it look fun? I'm going to play it.
Been halfway across the continent looking for you. Been halfway across the continent looking for you.
Oh no, the other one's still playing. Hold on, bad things are happening.
Hard woman to track down.
Game Informer, you suck.
Well, you found me.
Ew, gross.
Ms. Croft, I hear when it comes to retrieval, you're the one to hire. This isn't about glory or money or making the world a better place. This is a puzzle. buried in centuries of silence. You don't strike me as someone who walks past a locked door without wondering what's behind it. There's a reason I can only trust you with this.
Now it might be my internet tray.
Yeah, I don't know. So one cool thing, I think that this is a remake, or not a remake. It is a rework of the original game's story. I could be wrong on that.
Interesting. Well, because apparently we don't have we have millions of dollars and no ability to have future.
Gotta say, you captured your good side.
You're assuming I've got a bad side.
That's February 12th, 2027. That's like almost a year away.
It is. It's really funny. So there's like 4 of these games today that are for like September, and nobody's doing anything in November. Can you guess why?
Why?
Grand Theft Auto 6.
Oh, because that's releasing in November.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. All right, we got Phantom Blade Zero, we got Dune Awakening, we got Dynasty Warriors 3 remastered. We got No Rest for the Wicked. Let me just change this. I'm gonna take this out. Hold on.
So if we're gonna, cause I know we want to get to other news here soon too. I would do the God of War one because that was my favorite of the entire showcase, and also any more that you want to do.
I wanted to Onimusha, but we've done that before. But I really want to buy that and play it. Silent Hill, we've done before. Ace Combat 8. I don't even see God of War on here.
It's the very last one. There's also a really cool stunt driving one that looks awesome. But the next time we do one of these that has a bunch of trailers, I think there's a platform that lets us do this stuff when we stream, and it also has like the ability for both of us to pause the video. And I think I'm going to start looking into that and seeing how much it costs. 1, because hopefully it'll be better suited for streaming, and 2, because I get worried when we have trailers playing for a long time. And I think it would be a good idea if both of us could pause it and give commentary, because again, we've never had it happen before, but we could get not content violations, but you get the idea.
Yeah, no, I get the idea. Also, I tried the Verizon box earlier today as a Wi-Fi, so it hits up the cellular towers, then it sends out a signal, and then I connected it to the computer, and it was freezing all over the place it was freezing horribly during the New Wealth Transfer podcast. So I'm probably just going to reach out to T-Mobile and get their T-Mobile, what's the name of the new kind of fiber optics that just got laid in my front yard? And maybe we can speed up the internet a little bit in here, because I'm paying $168, I think, for this stupid Verizon box. And I'm paying $60. Yeah, and for the fact that that's how it worked, I was like, this is freaking ridiculous. I might be wrong. It might be less than that. I'm also paying $60 for Starlink for some reason that I don't use. But on a different note, I'm going to play God of War.
Sweet. Did you play the 2018 version?
No. Because I didn't have a PlayStation back in those days, Trey.
Fair enough. Well, this is going to be completely new to you then. Anybody in the chat?
And we can see it. But yes, that would be good if you had the ability to pause on the commentary as well. Trey, I don't know if it's gonna make it.
I'm not gonna be able to. Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna make it, Trey.
Creators Outlet sent in a chat while we're waiting for it to load. He
said something Generation XE. I played the OG God of War. The OG God of War. What did he put? Mask issue 1 from Skybound Image. The Inner John universe sold out before it shipped. Oh, is that on here too? There's a lot of slow introduction to this video.
Yeah. You know what? Now that I think about it, this thing is like 20 minutes long. Probably not a good idea.
It's
I'm
23
sorry.
minutes and 45 seconds. What are they doing in this? Oh,
it's an entire gameplay trailer. They show like the first 20 minutes of gameplay.
Where am I?
That's how Bane runs.
You know where I am?
Pets.
Hey, William, I'm just playing with you. I know you're a Gen Xer. I'm just giving you a hard time, buddy.
Burned clothes. The pyre. It happened. They're starting on the path. It's just... I didn't get to say goodbye.
Another mask. This is important.
Who plays her? Is it? It looks like the chick from Daredevil.
Do you think this could set you free?
Good question. I don't know.
You touch me again, and I swear, I will kill you.
Would you like to see how hard it is to die here, Godly? I can show you.
You can't keep me here.
The gateway is closed.
Yeah, it is. It's Karen from freaking Daredevil. I was like, it looks so much like her.
Which one?
Okay, so the female that's right here. It's
yes.
It's Daredevil. It's Karen, the main female character in Daredevil.
Oh,
his girlfriend who leaves after Foggy dies, their best friend.
Yeah. I know exactly. That's crazy. That did not occur to me at all.
I'll be honest with you. What gave it away is the mole.
Gave it away is the what?
On her face gave it away.
Let's see.
This is a long gameplay trailer. This looks freaking phenomenal, and I'm 100 going to go and pre-order it as soon as I can.
It's supposed to come out in September. That looks awesome too.
I don't think I've played a video game in months because none of my stuff is hooked up. All right, no release date given. So when does it come out, Trey?
Oh, I thought it came out in September. My bad.
God of War Lufe stars Kratos' wife fighting through the afterlife of the gods. No release date given. From the official description, Faye discovers the plans she put into place to protect Kratos and Artrus in her absence are now at risk, and to save her family, she must battle gods from multiple pantheons, all vying for dominance of the new corrupted Everywin. Yes, William, I'm not even a fan of Wolverine, but that Wolverine gameplay trailer we played at the beginning of this looks freaking phenomenal. But with that, we have to move along with some news. Any last thoughts on State of Play, Trey?
I wasn't super impressed with a lot of the games that came. Some of them are like, I think a lot of them are going to be like cult hits like Silent Hill, but for me it was just like I would kind of have liked to see more, because I'm sorry, I'm cutting myself off. I would have liked to see more indie games, because or indie style games, AA or whatever, because in my opinion, if you guys check out some of my other stuff, the indie scene is where it's going to be at over the next couple of years. And I just realized I'm really close to the camera. Sorry.
You're really close to I love it. I love when you get super close to the camera. I love getting super close to the camera too. And usually I like to do that at events around the valley, such as Phoenix Fan Fusion. We are not actually going to be at Phoenix Fan Fusion, mainly because it's a pain in the butt to get the table. Secondly, I don't like how they treat some of my friends sometimes, and my friends do a lot of work for them. And thirdly, I want to make UwuCon the biggest event here in Arizona, along with our Age of Radio events line that we are slowly working on to get into our events ourselves. But don't worry, Mercury will be back at live events, and I technically will be at Phoenix Fan Fusion in Phoenix, Arizona on Sunday. I am doing a panel for my good friend Thermo so that I can talk about why everyone should have or needs a podcast, because I'm an advocate that everybody has something to say. And there's some interesting articles that we're going to get into later today that makes it seem like the release of podcasts is slowing down, but I don't think podcasts will ever be out. And I think that the industry is maturing. But before we get into that, A24's Backrooms from 20-year-old Kane Parsons broke box office records this weekend. The latest example of an indie horror hit helmed by a YouTuber. First came Iron Lung, a video game adaptation of self-financed and distributed by YouTube Markiplier that stunned the box office with a massive haul. 3 months later's Obsession, a low-budget project from 26-year-old YouTuber Curry Barker, pulled off the rare feat of growing its box office take by 39% in its second weekend in theaters. And this weekend, A24's Backrooms from 20-year-old YouTuber Kane Parsons grossed a record-breaking $81.4 million in North America and $118 million worldwide, shattering the record for the largest opening ever for a first-time director with an original film. Trey, what are your thoughts on this growing, I guess, YouTubers who've been in front of cameras for years going in and then making movies? I mean, doesn't that seem like a logical next step?
It does seem like a logical next step. And I'm going to plug my last article that I put on Substack, because the indie scene is going to be, I'm not going to go into details. I'm going to just wanted to bring that up because I talk about something kind of related in there. The indie scene is going to be where it's at, and YouTubers are going to be helming a lot of it. A24 and this YouTuber is great. And then
hold on, are you making a prediction? Because I missed all the stuff that we talked about at the beginning of this, where I'm supposed to go like this. Hold on, let me find it. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? I need a little button that I can push. Dustin, where are you?
Prediction time.
Except I just see a black screen. I don't know if it threw up the prediction time.
It went up.
Okay, I'm going to do it again just for fun. Let's do it one more time. Hold on. I like the bongos. Bongo drum roll.
Prediction time.
Okay, what was your prediction? Oh, we need to mark these down. Where's the piece of paper? Trey, Mark, what is it? What's the prediction? Go.
Okay, so this is going to be big, and YouTubers are going to be the next big filmmakers. You've got all three of these projects who have grossed. Honestly, I think that these projects have grossed larger than the majority of what's going on in the old guard scene. And there's Jacksepticeye, who's getting a movie for Bloodborne coming out. He's heading that project. This is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're going to start seeing more and more YouTubers step outside of the YouTube and internet lane and into actual film. That's my prediction.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because as it points out here in this NBC News article, horror has always created a special connection between creators and audiences. The horror genre has long been a low-budget launching pad for filmmakers, from Francis Ford Coppola's 1963 B-movie Dementia 13 and George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead in 1968 to today's online creator-driven project. So I think that this one, me just even doing the little show that we do here on our little Mercury show and the other stuff that I do, I love. I mean, I'm looking at, I'm into a point in my, mid years, right? Middle age, and being able to afford things where now you can get a decent camera like an FX3 and FX6. You can get a Komodo Red. You could probably even get into the Sony Cinema line. I know they have the Venice and the Venice 2, and there's one line underneath the Venice 2. You could probably get all into that for the price of a car, like 30 grand, 40 grand. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but even if you didn't have that much money, Nikon released a new Sony Z. Nikon bought Red, and they have a Z Red camera that's a cinema camera for $3,000. You could probably start making independent stuff that you could put on YouTube. The world that we live in for creators, they have the ability. We can do anything now. So I actually am in big support of this. I hope that more YouTubers do this. I hope that more people, that are young children, have the opportunity to do this. If I grew up, there is no reason, if you want to be a filmmaker in today's climate, if I had the tools that are available now when I was 17, 18, 19, 20, I would have hands down probably spent my entire life in entertainment with making film, writing, and that's why I'm doing it now in my mid 40s. And so I encourage more of this, and I love to see this. The other thing that I love, and Trey, I don't know if you found an article on it, because I kind of just sent you something and didn't follow up on it. There is a new trend that's going on in cinema, or in video making. It's called Screen Time. There's a new show. It had 75 million views, but get this film, you can find clips of it on TikTok. Go to Screen Time, and then you can go to the media company. Hooray Media, I think, is one of them, or I forgot who's actually producing it. But essentially, it's a full show that's shot vertically, so you can watch the entire thing on your phone.
So I'm sorry, Jeremy. First off, I tried to remember that. I completely forgot.
You don't have to apologize. Between you, look, so anybody that's out, the people that work for me or work with me, they know that it'll be 1 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock at night, and I'll have an idea. And I'll just text them we need to go and do this, this, and this. So Trey, it doesn't bother me that we didn't have a news article for it. But I did want to point it out because I think that these are two really important trends. The fact that YouTubers can go out there and make videos now and take them to the box office and turn them into smash hits because they have a following. And secondly, it's going to be phenomenal with more if we get really good content in the form of which we're all watching content now on our phone.
So there's actually an entire industry for this. There are actually entire apps for this, and it's literally like little snackable TV shows, and they break them down into TikTok-sized chapters. And all you got to do is just like you're scrolling TikTok. That's actually there are actual apps entirely for that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Trey, we had a X Spaces yesterday for Daredevil. I haven't finished Daredevil. I have 2 more episodes left for Daredevil Reborn Season 2. We pushed our X Spaces to next week, which what's great is if you guys listen to our podcast, you can now subscribe to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts, okay, except for on YouTube. These won't be here. And so you can find the feed. And now our X Spaces, if you miss it and you want to hear us talk about all the great stuff that's going on that we deep dive in, like this, in this case, Daredevil Born Again, you can listen to that on our podcast feed. So go now, wherever you get your podcast, go to Mercury by Age of Radio, subscribe, and you can get all the other content that we're releasing on that feed. And some of that is our X Spaces that we do. Now, Trey and I were supposed to do an X Spaces of Daredevil Born Again yesterday, but we hadn't finished watching all of it. So we're doing that next week. But next week is also WWDC. I was going to say WWF. It's WWDC also. So do you want to combine those bad boys, or what are we doing here?
I think we'll give it. So we always give it like a week and a half. Also, we're already combining a lot. And as a matter of fact, the PlayStation State of Play will probably be one of the things that we mentioned briefly on the WWDC, because it's also summer. It's release season. Everybody's doing stuff. Xbox has theirs, I think, on Monday. Atari, all these companies are doing it. All that stuff, I think we should wait and do it at the original time we were going to. Daredevil is going to be a fun one. I also want to bring up, and if you want, we could maybe do some of the earlier game release stuff with Daredevil, or combine it that way. Whichever way you want to do it is absolutely fine. I think it might be a little bit tight if we want, we might be doing it for 4 hours if we decided to do WWDC, Summer Games Fest, and Daredevil all in one big thing. That would be a bit long.
Those X Spaces go by fast, though. Podcasting and talking about stuff that interests me is one of the great pleasures of my life. And we can do it forever. But yeah, so we're going to do something next Thursday. So go over to X, subscribe to Age of Radio on X. We will be going live from there. If you've never done an X Space, you can be a part of the conversation. We record them and then we release them on our Mercury by Age of Radio podcast feed. So I'm really excited about that and where that's going to be going, because hopefully we can make other content apart from what goes on this live as well, for all the cool things that happen in pop culture and gaming and podcasting and funness. And then Trey, do we have anything else going on? We have a gameplay night. So I keep changing that on you. I don't know. That's my fault. Fine. Blame Chuck. Chuck for that.
Actually, I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because I was thinking it was still Tuesdays, but now it's Mondays again. So now I know this upcoming Monday, just 4 days from now, same night as WWDC.
Actually, Trey, I just have to remind, I might not be able to do it this Monday, because I also promised Maria that we would go make a paper, like a bookmark out of pressed flowers or something along those lines, which is something I wanted to do. So we're going to have to get this back on track somehow. But we do have a Discord, and we will eventually have stuff happening on Monday and or Tuesday.
Yes. Anime Roundtable, we'll get to that, and then the gaming stuff. And I think it wouldn't be a bad idea for the Anime Roundtable specifically, because the game stuff is a bit harder, because it's visual and Discord doesn't record that. But we can also start recording our Anime Roundtable and putting that on our feed as well, if that is something you're interested in.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's the purpose of the Mercury feed, is to do all the Mercury related stuff so we can see how that goes. Plus, who doesn't love anime? I haven't watched it, Trey. I haven't watched anything in so long, Trey. It's not except for Daredevil, because I was like, oh, we got to do this, because I think I was in XRP Las Vegas. Then I came back, had a bunch of stuff to do, and then as soon as I settled down, then I had more stuff to do, and then me and Maria left to go travel to Sedona, and now we're back, and it's a whirlwind. Life is fun, a fun whirlwind of constantly doing awesome stuff, like coming to see you and figuring out how we can do a live from the basement in your house, not Grandma's house.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and honestly, yeah, there's some definitely fun content opportunities, because we've got a big backyard too, which we can't normally live stream from, but I'm sure we could figure something out.
Oh, I can figure anything out with all the equipment that I have. That the only thing that doesn't work in my life is internet. Once I figure out my internet problem, man, it's going to be smooth sail, and a connection problem over here. But you know who doesn't have problems, Trey?
Who doesn't?
YouTube. YouTube has little problems. YouTube is giving podcasters and other creators a new way to own their official presence on Google search, which is now just AI, and unify their digital footprint with the launch of search profiles. It gives creators a shareable, customizable page that brings together all their social accounts, website posts, and links into one verified place. kind of reminds me of Linktree. By offering a central hub, YouTube says it should make it easier for fans, collaborators, and brands to find accurate and up-to-date information about their work. There's also an added benefit for YouTube creators with a larger following, either on the site or other social media platforms. YouTube says the announcement that eligible creators that set up a profile will trigger or enhance a knowledge panel, providing a professional visual snapshot when people search for their name. Creators will be able to customize their profile to reflect their personal brand, from a tailored bio and avatar to pinning videos and essential links. So the way that I think about this is there's going to be a profile or a creator hub inside the back end of YouTube Studio. We put that information in there, and then when people search for us, that then will show up through Google search, and then people will have a link to all of our stuff. Is that the way that I'm reading this?
I think so. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Although, unfortunately, I'm getting the distinct feeling that this is going to be limited to people who have like over 1,000 subscribers or so many watch hours or whatever, which is kind of a bummer, but great for the people who can use it.
Well, before YouTube shut down our Age of Radioverse channel, we had like 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers. I was really excited about that. Now we have 100 and something, but it still grows, continues to grow. And you could all help us by sharing this with 90,000 people. So if you are an influencer that's watching this right now, share this with your audience, and they can learn about all the podcasting and cool stuff that Trey and I do now that I'm in my 40s and Trey's in his 30s. Really excited about that. Our goal is to provide you with more peace of mind by giving you easy access to request the removal of... I don't even know if that's relevant to the top part of this. I just scrolled down the article. Ask YouTube... what's Ask YouTube? Is that what it's called?
I'm not sure.
Ask YouTube is currently available for premium subscribers 18 and older in the US. YouTube says it's planning to roll out the feature broadly for all YouTube users in the coming months. YouTube also announced at the Google I/O event that it is adding a Gemini Omni, Google's new AI video model, to YouTube Shorts, which I think we knew about that, and YouTube Create app. It says it will make it easier for users to step into the trends and conversations. Trey, does Maker's Remark, or do you have a YouTube, like your own like personalized YouTube channel, like I have Age of Jeremy?
I do. It's the same username as all my other stuff. It's at Creator Trey.
Do you post videos on there though, or just shorts?
Yeah, just shorts usually.
You ever gonna make videos and then become a horror person and make a horror movie? Trey, if you were to make a movie genre, what style of genre movie would you make?
Fantasy. I know all the tropes. I know the magic systems. Fantasy. I've actually thought about.
Yeah, so like a Dungeons and Dragons style thing, or would you make it in the modern day, like Hogwarts?
Probably Dungeons Dragons style of thing, or Aragon or Lord of the Rings.
What's your favorite Lord of the Rings book, Trey?
The first one. The second and third are really dark.
Yeah, books I think are better than the movies.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think that they're a lot. I don't know. The movies are just so... I don't know. They're so long. I mean, the book's long too, but like you're reading it. I don't know. And there's more... I don't know. Podcast launches hit new low, but signs point to a more stable industry. The number of new podcasts launched worldwide fell to a record low in May, extending a sharp slowdown in show creation. Yet a broader look at data from Listen Notes suggests the podcast industry is becoming more mature and stable rather than shrinking. Listen Notes reports 7,115 new podcasts debuted in May, down 31% from April's 10,331 launches and 61% below the 18,171 new podcasts recorded in May 2025. New shows accounted for only 0.198% of all podcasts tracked by the platform, the lowest monthly share in at least the past 13 months. The decline marks a dramatic shift from earlier in the year. New podcast launches average nearly 17,000 $700 per month. My freaking God, Trey, that is so much content coming out a month just as podcasts. Now, my guess is that they're including video podcasts in this, or if someone just calls their thing a podcast.
That would be my guess. Well, specifically, yeah, that would be my guess. Actually, Jeremy, I have something to say about this. Could you play the prediction time thing?
Yes, hold on. We do prediction time showdown. I gotta get hotkeys. Hold on, I gotta go here.
Prediction time.
I probably need to hit prediction time sooner, is what my guess is. Hold on, let me try one more time, see if I can get the timing down. Nope, still failed. One more time. Hold on.
It worked. It's throwing it up.
No,
Man.
it's off still. Hold on, one more time. That was a little better. It takes so long to get back up there and hit that. StreamYard, you need to fix your ability for hotkeys. You suck. And Streamlabs, you need to fix your ability for the way you can share a screen. You suck also. All right. Trey, prediction time. Go. Wait, hold on now. Now I ruined your prediction time. Hold on, we got to do one more time, and then you talk. I'm going to not talk after this one.
Prediction time. This is entirely related to AI. The people who have been putting out AI podcasts are finding out that nobody is watching their stuff. Nobody's listening to their stuff because there's no market for it. And because that's happening, the amount of podcasts overall have dropped. And because also, again, and I'm sorry for so many plugs. Another article from last week, markets that are overly commoditized tend to make it harder to get discovered. This is actually a good thing because it means that it's going to allow the people who already have podcasts and anybody who makes a podcast in the future going to be very good for them. But the AI is going to slowly die out, is my prediction.
Kind of like AI slop. Is that even a thing anymore? I feel like AI slop went away.
It's still there.
The rise of podcasts produced by generative AI has led to an ongoing effort by Listen Notes to scrub its database of AI-generated and low-quality fake podcasts. After a first quarter that saw a surge in removals, the company says the number of AI removals fell to 3,549 in May. That is the fewest in more than a year. And I think that you're right, Trey, because the market's not going to want to listen to AI content. Like, I really just don't think that that's something. I think there are uses for the ability to utilize generative AI in these things. I don't think to make the content is one of those things. I think, like, one of the ways that I like the generative AI I've mentioned on the show before is I like that in Adobe PDF. I think it's, you know what I think it is? Hold on. I think it's amazing.
Yay.
That on my Adobe PDFs, I can go ahead and say, let me listen to this as a podcast, and it'll turn the PDF into a podcast. I can read it. It'll give me information on, like, for example, I think I have the SpaceX prospectus up. I think it's in a PDF format. It might not be. If it is, I think it is. I can go in there and I can just hit, hey, turn this into a podcast, and it'll go through the entire SpaceX IPO for me. That is a very, 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 very good use of generative of AI. Okay, I guess that would be considered generative AI. Very good use of AI being created, content being created from AI, and so that's a really good use case. No one wants to listen to a bunch of AI created content that is being pushed off as some type of like podcast or show. People want to hear real humans talking about real shit, is what my sentiment is. And then the other problem too is people that are doing that, they're probably just doing it so they can push stuff out there so they can make money. And I think that when you do, in the long term, if you do something just for the focus of getting money, it's not going to turn out the way that you want it to be, or it'll just be some type of short-term success. And maybe that's what works for some people.
I would completely agree with you. I think that when it comes to AI, I am super big on AI technology, and I think it is going to be the future of how we use computers. However, when it comes to generative AI, I have two rules for it. If it's something that is specifically podcast based, but it also applies somewhat to like art as well. So if you're sharing it, if you're doing it just to kind of share with people for fun or whatever, great, that's fine. If you're using it for your own benefit, like you did with, or you can do with PDFs, great, that's fine. Or if there's something, so in our Discord, link to our Discord, ageofradio.com, and click on the blue button. I put out renders for an idea recently. That was AI, and I also used Google Flow to make videos, although I did not share those on Discord. That is like that stuff. You can't build that yourself, or I can't anyway. That to share ideas is phenomenal. Otherwise, yeah, it's not going to make much headway, in my opinion.
I think that a lot of it is just due to the fact that, you know, I think you know, one of the things that I think is going to be really big here soon into the future is the ability for live events to become more popular. Like, we're going to have more events that people are wanting to go to. People are going to want to have more human connection, because a lot of these kids, especially that are coming into adulthood, they probably have been spending most of their teen years into their young adulthood years on their phone, and they're going to want to get away from that is my sentiment. And Trey, I think I'm lagging and I might disappear in 4 seconds. So it might be up to you, buddy.
Oh no. I am not prepared at all.
It's okay. You just got to talk. I just talk about whatever. We just talk on this show. It's a talking show. Just a good old talking show. You love Apple, and it looks like there's a Kickstarter for a new podcast called Designed in California, and that's because Apple designed their products in California, but they built them overseas. Mike, and this is from, let's see, this is from, who was the name of the Six Colors, I think it is? Yeah, Six Colors, Apple Technology, and other stuff. The two hosts of this have been discussing Apple in depth every week for more than a decade on the Upgrade podcast. For Apple's 50th anniversary earlier this year, they researched many different accounts of the era and wrote a 90-minute special episode of Upgrade. The reception to that episode was phenomenal, and they love doing it, so they want to fund an entire year of new podcasts that will tell more stories in that vein. And so they're using Kickstarter for this project because researching and writing from scripts to quite labor intensive, and there's hesitant to make that time commitment in the hope that they would eventually build enough of an audience to justify the large workload. It's going to be Kickstarter backers will help make the podcast happen. Backers at the founding producer tier or higher will get access to a special backed only podcast feed for the show's first year, ad-free episodes, all episodes on a topic will drop at once, access to the Relay Podcast Network membership plan, which includes access to a Discord community and exclusive Relay member only podcast. I think this is great for people that like tech, and especially if they like Apple. I think this would be something that you would like, Trey.
Oh, 100%. I believe they actually have already. The article that I was looking at said they already made like 1 million or something like that. It was quite a bit. Maybe it was only
I clicked over to the main article. It hit its stretch goal of 60,000 in less than 24 hours. At the time of the writing, it hit $100,000. Yep.
Booyah! Awesome. I hope this goes well. I've been looking into Steve Jobs, and this is so the Upgrade podcast is probably something that I am going to pick up and listen to after this, because I had no idea it was a thing.
Trey, what is the thing that people gravitate towards Apple so much? Why do you think that there's become this, like, when I was growing up, it was cool to like Apple because it wasn't a big thing, and then it became a big thing, and now we have like people are either Apple people or they're Windows people or they're PC people, I guess would be a better way to say that. Why do you think that exists and happens?
So PC people are big gamers. They want the ability to game, and they also want the ability to adjust their systems. For me, as an Apple person, and I think a lot of Apple people would agree with this, we want our computers to just work. We want our computer, like, for instance, I was using Linux a couple years ago. So glad I'm off that now.
Even when you were using like Ubuntu?
Yeah.
Because I used to have Ubuntu and it was fine, but I mean, like, to understand a Linux kernel and to go deep into that from a computer science perspective, I think they're super beneficial. But like an everyday person has no real need to use Linux whatsoever. In fact, I usually recommend people that if they don't want to be able to make upgrades on their computers, or they don't need to be doing heavy development stuff from a non-Mac perspective, then like one of the best things to do is is a PC. But for most people, for ease of use, like you said, I also just tell them to use Mac. But I don't think that means that Mac's not powerful. I think Mac's super powerful, and I also think that they have some really good products. Like one of the products that I'm super excited for, if they actually release this, is I'm really excited to see what they do with that Apple pendant idea. Like I'm probably going to buy that as soon as it comes out.
I'll be curious on that one too. And I think so. And there is, the cultural part to it as well. The old blue bubble, green bubble stuff. But I think in the main, it's just people saying, I want my stuff to work. I do not care if I can't change the color of the icons, although you can do that in Apple now, but you get my point. I think that's why a lot of people go toward Apple. Oh, and the ecosystem, of course, because I can literally copy something on my, well, you've seen me use my phone as a camera, but I can also literally copy something on my phone and my iPad and then hit Control V on my.
No, continue, Trey. I was waiting for you to finish.
And then hit Control V on my Mac without doing anything. I don't have to open up a separate app or anything. And it's there. It's done. I don't have to do anything else.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things that I find that I like about it is the interoperability between the phone and the PC, because Windows doesn't have that. They tried to do something similar to it with Teams, but it was fucking horrible. Excuse me, where I could like text people from Teams to my phone. Because like from what I understand on the Apple products, because I have an iPhone, if I had a Mac, I could pick up that conversation from my phone on my Mac.
Yep.
Right, and that's one of the things that I think is really lacking in the Samsung vis-a-vis PC industry, and maybe Samsung does it with their own internal stuff because they have the phone. But yeah, I was just curious about that because I always get, we always like Dustin will make fun of Mac people because you don't have the ability to do what you can on a PC, but he's also a big gamer. So I was curious about that. The Sunday Times reveals Britain's 100 fastest growing private companies. And this is really interesting. Goalhanger, a media producer known for its The Rest Of podcast and based in London, is Britain's fastest growing private company, according to the 5th annual Sunday Times 100 rankings. The list is published online at thesundaytimes.com and available as a supplement with the print edition of the newspaper that will be available June 7th. The annual ranking identifies and celebrates Britain's 100 leading entrepreneurial businesses and showcases the people behind the most dynamic private companies. The Sunday Times 100 excludes companies selling their own technology, which now features in the sister table, the Sunday Times 100 Tech. Now, Goalhanger made £37.9 million in sales in 2025, a staggering 321.25% average annual growth in the last 3 years. This year, Goalhanger expects to entertain 1 billion people with their long-form audio and video show, which includes The Rest is Politics, The Rest is Football, and an unlikely successful niche history podcast, WW2 podcast, We Have Ways of Making You Talk. It was founded by Tony Pastor, former ITV sports controller with Jack Davenport, an audio producer, as well as a former England footballer, Gary Lineker. Together, they own a large majority stake of the business. It employs 80 people at its headquarters in London. That's interesting. I've never listened to any of those, and I try not to listen to anything from Britain. I'm just joking. That was a joke, folks. Calm down. That's cool. I mean, I think that's really exciting. I don't think radio and podcasting and audio mediums and video podcasts are ever going to go away. I think we're just going to, because people like listening to people talk about certain things, one, and two, audio and storytelling and journalism through those mediums are really, really good and really, really strong. And I think they'll have some up years, some down years, and we're just in a really good, strong space for podcasts and the new way in which we're consuming people talking to each other, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. The only reason I really wanted to add that was because a bit of a celebration that podcasting is going so big.
Yeah, and it's going to keep going bigger. I mean, there was years ago when I was saying this is all going to start moving to video eventually. I didn't think that people would start calling podcasts people talking in video podcasting because it's just a talk show. It's just like now every talk show is a podcast. I asked a question to someone about HLS that's in the podcast industry. They had no idea what I was talking about. But I think once HLS picks up in the way in which we use RTTP technology to push content out, we will eventually get to a point where video podcasts can be distributed, and we're getting to that point. I just don't think anybody's focusing on the technology, but RSS feeds and the ability to push all this content out, in my opinion, is one of the best technologies in the last 20, 25, 30 years. But that's because I love podcasts so much and recording and talking to people, or talking to myself, as I tend to do. Oh no, Verizon must have heard me bash their stuff. They're calling me on the phone. They might be like, oh, they bashed the stuff, so they're calling me. Verizon Business. Wonder what they want. Let's answer them on the hold on. I'm going to pick it up and see if you guys can hear it. Hello?
I'm calling with Verizon Business on a recorded line.
This is him. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm giving you a call in regards to your business account with us. Just wanted to see how everything was going for you all, and also wanted to go over some loyalty offers you had available.
Yeah, so it was okay. I'm not really impressed with the box that I got. Maybe it'll work better if I hardline it, but it didn't really work for streaming. Like I did a live stream earlier today, and during the live stream it was lagging like there was no more. Now I didn't have it hardwired in, but it was pretty useless.
Was it just like the device you were using connected to, or did you have multiple devices connected?
No, I just had one. I was just doing a live stream and I had one computer connected.
Oh, okay.
And like I'm looking at it right now. And it's only got like it's got 2 bars on it. And it is by a window. But if you could look into it, I'm in the middle of something right now. If you could look into it and get back to me, that'd be great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye. Probably should have told her that it was being recorded, but were you able to hear anything, Trey?
Bits and pieces.
Yeah,
I also think it's kind of funny because I know from experience, Wi-Fi on a cellular network is not very good, just in general. And it could be better now, but just that's my experience.
Well, and I'm okay with that being a thing, but this unit is $500, and the thing is like $100 and some a month. I could be wrong on the $100 and some a month. It could be like $50 a month, and I'm just confused. And I also got the top tier version of it. And it was so. Did you watch? Well, you probably didn't see it on mine because the main internet connection was through 3T. But anyway, we'll eventually get. So I think I'm going to run the T-Mobile to it and test that next because I'm testing everything because I want the best internet in this room specifically so that we can do all kinds of weird live stuff. Like it needs like I'm sure OnlyFans people do lives that do better than this stream, but I think some of it's probably StreamYard is probably some of my sentiment, but that's just my sentiment and not a knock on whatever I was talking about. Okay, moving right along. So congratulations to podcasting. Podcasting is moving, growing, and getting even better. Hello Studios debuts AI-powered platform to tackle podcasting's hidden work. The podcast production and media company Hello Studios has launched a new production platform that it says is designed to run an entire show. Leveraging an experience working with more than 1,000 shows, as well as artificial intelligence, the company says that the Hello Engine platform will guide creators from the very first episode idea all the way to publishing. Unlike recording tools, editing software, or standalone AI writing apps, Hello Engine sees its differential as helping creators navigate all the various pieces of launching a show. Many are expected, others seem daunting. It is why the company says, by some estimates, more than half of new podcasts stop production within the first year. Podcasting isn't hard. That is true. Staying organized is. That is probably also true. They built Hello Engine because every tool in the market does one thing: record, edit, host. None of them run the show. Hello Engine exists to make sure yours never goes quiet. The Dallas-based team says in the announcement, Hello Engine is designed around 2 stages for podcasting process: launching a show and growing an audience. The platform begins with a free launch phase where creators complete a 20-question AI consultation that helps transform a concept into fully developed podcast. Based on those responses, Hello Engine recommends a format, target audience, publishing schedule, and show name, while also guiding users through equipment selection, podcast hosting setup, RSS feed creation, and submission to major listing platforms. Okay, so besides the RSS feed creation and submission, can't you just do the rest of that with regular AI?
Yes, you can, but I actually can see this being something. So LLMs are great, but they are built on a large pool of information. Like, they consume everything they possibly can because their goal isn't to provide a specific part of a language. Their goal is to provide exact, like, not exact. Their job is predict what comes next when it comes to language. This is different, and I am very interested. It would be cool to have somebody. I don't know if it would mesh very well with Age of Radio, but it would be very cool to have somebody try how well this works as a podcast. How well it works, because I think that their real differentiator is the data that they have. If they built it specifically on that, that might be a really good deal.
Yeah. And it looks like they're trying. Well, I guess they do serve creators, recording, editing, and publishing support as needed. I wonder. I mean, it also looks like they help with booking too. It looks like it's a whole suite of services, not just the AI piece of it, to help someone get their show up and running. It's based out of Dallas, supporting marketing, communications, and leadership teams. Teams we've supported, such as NPR, Audible, Sirius, Time Studios. Yeah, I think that's just. Is this just a newer feature that they're adding in?
I think it is.
And it says to design to run an entire show, but it looks like Hello Studio specifically might have been bound. I mean, that's interesting. I'm curious if anybody out there wants to give this a shot and let us know what they think. But I think that's really cool. And I think one of the reasons why podcasts are also going to continue to grow and become stronger, or because they're going to be these consulting service type of firms that also are working with them to help make their shows stronger as well. I'm interested in this part. Let's go to the single session and see here. Choose your session time and get ready to record. Our team will handle the tech so you can focus on creating great content. Okay, so so they also have actual studio rooms that you can rent.
That's, man, this thing is like, I bet this thing is kind of pricey, but for people who want like expert guidance, this might be remarkable.
I mean, we could do like, look, this is just a table. I'm sure that table was less than my stupid $5,000 table that we have in the New Wealth Transfer podcast, which was the most ridiculous priced thing I've ever bought in my life. I thought it was going to be $250 an hour, which is kind of pricey, to be honest. I mean, this is just freaking. I get it's just microphones on a table, but I guess if they're running all of the other stuff outside of that, you just show up with your guest and you focus on the interview or the conversation, and then they focus on the rest of the recording piece of it. So I could see how this could be beneficial.
Yeah, 100%.
They also do yeah, this is a all-in-one. Hold on. Let's look at this for fun. Founded in 2022 during COVID-19, normal operations were disrupted, but the need for credible communication increased. Organizations needed a dependable way to create conversations, briefings, and long-form storytelling without relying on improvised setup or inconsistent vendor setup. We began with a single recording room in downtown Dallas designed to deliver professional results and a controlled environment when uncertainty was the norm. From the beginning, the goal was not just production. The goal was continuity. We built workflows that made it possible to publish responsibly even when circumstances change. Interesting. Yeah, that's cool. We should do something like that here in Arizona. Freaking Texas. All right, waving my hand. All right, moving right along. Also, too, if you guys are in the Phoenix, Arizona, while I'm personally not really focused on having a booth at Phoenix Fan Fusion, obviously there are some of our friends that are great cosplayers. They're down there at Phoenix Fan Fusion, such as AZ Cosplay. What was Kyle's new group called? Let's see here.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, Arizona Cosplay with CAUSPLOY. You can go check them out. You can probably go check out some of the other cosplay individuals that we've interviewed in the past. And I think they have Phoenix Fan Fusion is the largest one here in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. And they have some amazing guests that usually show up at these events. I think they have some pretty big names this year. So you guys should check it out there. I'll be there on Sunday doing a podcasting panel with myself and probably Joey with our friend Thermo AZ, and I'll be talking about why everyone needs a podcast. All right, moving right along. There's so much podcasting news in here. It's almost like we're a podcasting show these days. For a while there, we just talked about AI. Do you remember that, Trey?
I do remember that.
Spotify honors 15 podcasts with Creator Milestone Awards. Spotify has presented 2 podcasts with its Silver Creator Milestone Awards. The award acknowledges the show hiring 250 million all-time streams on Spotify. The podcast recognized our diary.
Jeremy,
what?
2 things.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're going to have you here. Yeah, that's exactly it. And also, I could not understand a word you said.
Why? Because I was talking so fast? Am I having a stroke?
No, because you I hope not. No,
I hope not too.
That wasn't funny. No, the internet lagged. Horrible.
No, okay. Spotify. All right, I'm gonna try this again. Spotify has presented 2 podcasts with its Silver Creator Milestone Award. The award acknowledged the show hitting 215 million all-time streams on Spotify. Congratulations, Stephen Bartlett, Diary of a CEO, and Dick and Doof, a weekly German language comedy and entertainment show hosted by content creator Luca Tilo Sharpenberg. There were also 13 shows awarded the Bronze Creator Milestone Award, which is 100 million streams on Spotify or 50 million in emerging markets. Among the podcasts taking the honor are Apocalypse and Fitter Cafe. I don't know what that is. The Basement Yard, The Tim Dillon Show, Spittin' Chicklets, Modern Wisdom, My Dad Wrote a Porno. That's good. Verbriken von Nibbenen, which I'm assuming is also another language. True Crime Auster Nachbarschaft, Extra Abnormal, Indagini, Liza, True Crime, Los Memoris del Alma, and Inoi Minna. I'm so sorry for any of the languages that I'm completely butchering here. I don't know how to talk just in general. The latest round of Creator Milestone Awards for the first quarter of 2026 does not include any gold creators. So congratulations to all those Creator Milestone Awards. And those are some pretty heavy numbers. Trey, when we hit 100 million streams at the rate that we're going, we might be dead. It might be after our death and people come and find us. I don't know. I'm just playing. We're going to get there, buddy. We're going to get
there. Yes, we will get there.
That's interesting. Do you listen to any of those?
I have not. I've heard about the Stephen Bartlett one. I'm a little bit iffy. because I don't know how. I've never even heard of any of his companies, and it's weird that the guy's just like, my life as a CEO.
No, what he does, what it is, I don't know if he has any companies, but what he's doing is the Diary of a CEO. He usually interviews the CEOs. And so it's like a podcast of him interviewing the CEO, and they're okay. Like, there's a running joke that Stephen Bartlett really doesn't, him and like, I don't know, Mel Robbins and some of these, they don't really say, they're like grifters. They're not really saying anything beneficial in their podcast. But again, from the Stephen Bartlett perspective, is that some of the CEOs that he has on are pretty good. But again, I congratulate him. I'm happy for him. He works his butt off. He's doing a great job. So I'm never going to downgrade any of that stuff. But there's just a running joke that like he doesn't really say anything substantial in any of his episodes. There's some funny memes about it online. But
that's interesting. I'm not trying to detract from him. I just thought that it was kind of a weird title for a podcast, I guess, if you're not really and I guess it's like there's a founder podcast, and I don't think that guy's a founder either. Although oh my gosh, that podcast I listened to yesterday. But anyway, next one. We're on the next one.
We're kind of up here on time, but I want to run through these real quick. Lego's releasing 12 more Pokemon sets this August, but there's one catch. The Lego Group and the Pokemon Company International have revealed 12 more Lego Pokemon sets, and they're all being released this August. Pre-orders are now live for the sets, with range from lower price tags from $20 all the way up to $120. All these sets will be released on August 1st, and while a lot of them look really cool, there is one potentially disappointing catch. Every single set is a Smart Play all-in-one or compatible service. Now, Lego Smart Play features are pretty cool, allowing certain Lego features to interact with others, light up, and make sounds. But if you're someone who builds your set and places it on a shelf to look at and not play with, you're paying a premium for the baked-in Smart Play sets. But I mean, I don't think that Lego's making them for people to build and then to put on their shelves to look at. I think with these, they're trying to build them so children play with them.
Yeah, well, and honestly, this is a great opportunity for Lego. Build it twice. You guys have the moldings for both. Like, you guys have the molding. It wouldn't be that hard to just build a display edition.
Yeah, these look really cool. Can't go wrong. Pokemon. They're all the rage. Trey, what's your favorite Pokemon?
That's a really hard choice. What's yours while I try and think?
I don't know. Probably Mewtwo.
Mewtwo
Squirtle.
is... Okay, yeah. Squirtle is actually really cool. I guess just because it's one that's not mentioned as much. Alakazam is cool.
Oh, Alakazam is cool. Actually, you know what? I like Psyduck a lot. Psyduck's pretty cool. Snorlax reminds me of myself, minus the sleeping. So, I don't know. All right. Well, we're coming up on the end of the show, Trey. We didn't get through any of the gaming stuff, so go check out our Discord. There's some interesting news about Actors Union approves a 4-year contract with studios and streamers. It looks like Pokemon Champions comes to mobile platforms June 17th, and it's bringing a Mega Raichu with it. And then Sega Streets of Rage film adaptation will be written by the duo behind the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, so that could be pretty good. And Tekken 8 director Kohei Ikeda leaves Bandai Namco after 20 years, 6 months after longtime series producer departed. So all these news articles will be in our dispatch inside of our Discord. And for one final article for the day, and also because I want to test out this new sound and to see how this works, let's give this a go. Unfortunately, we have a new farewell sound because as people are birds, they also die. And so we want to give to Anthony Heed. Did it stop the music when I started talking?
No, I think that's just the end of the sound.
Where's Josh at? Josh, are you on here? Josh, are you out there watching? This is how long this sound clip is, and I can't freaking loop it. Hold on, maybe I can loop it as background music. Let me see if I can add this to the show real quick. See what happens. Maybe we can play it through the entire... We'll try this background music and see if we can do it through the entire segment. right, let's try this meow. All right, unfortunately, Anthony Heat, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Ted Lasso actor dies at 72. Maybe it needs to be lower? What's this do? Fade track in and out. Is that better?
That's much better. I could barely hear you before.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Anthony Head or Heed, I apologize, I didn't look up how to pronounce his name, but I loved him in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The veteran British actor was beloved by Buffy fans for his portrayal of mentor Rupert Giles, and recently appeared as villainous team owner Rupert Mannion on Ted Lasso. Kind of weird that he used Rupert twice. And so we wish him and his family the best. He was 72, passed away peacefully of complications due to pneumonia. He was surrounded by... Actually, I'm going to see if this fades in and out. Ooh, that's even better. He passed away peacefully of complications due to pneumonia, surrounded by his family, according to a statement to the Press Association news agency from the actor's daughters, Emily and Daisy Heed. U.S. television watchers best know him as the father-like mentor of Rupert Giles of the supernatural action drama Buffy the Vampire Slayer, alongside Sarah Michelle Gellar and Alyssa Hannigan. Only Gellar, Hannigan, and Nichols Brandon appeared in more Buffy episodes than Heed between 1997 and 2003. Gellar, who played Buffy, mourned the death of Heed in an Instagram post using a quote from the show. "Tell Giles I figured it out and I'm okay. Well, I don't have it figured out and I'm not okay, but I know I'm the lucky one because I knew you." Did you ever watch all of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff?
No, that was more my mom's domain than mine. Although, from what I remember bits and pieces, he was a very good actor.
Oh, he's a fantastic actor. It was a fantastic... Technically, that was a pretty fantastic show, and he did a great job. And I didn't even know he was in Ted Lasso. That's really interesting. So anyways, guys, well, we'll take this moment to recognize Anthony Heed for the work that he's done with our cool new music that Josh got. It works better as a background music. Right. Well, unfortunately, people come and people go, and he has went, and one day we will go too. But in the meantime, like and subscribe to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and continue to watch the live every Friday at 3:30 Arizona time, right here on Mercury by Age of Radio. If you're watching this on the Age of Jeremy shows or on LinkedIn at Age of Jeremy, go ahead and go over to Mercury by Age of Radio, and you can get us at the source, and make sure you follow the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Trey, any closing thoughts and final words and calls to action, sir?
Not a lot of closing thoughts. Really good show as usual. This is genuinely the high point of my entire week, every week. Checked out all of my social media at Creator Trey, Substack, creatortrey.substack.com, and here on YouTube at Creator Trey as well, because I never mentioned that. But that's it. I'll pass it back to you for our closer.
Absolutely. If you guys want to know everything that I am investing in and understand what I do as it relates to crypto and my dividend portfolio, you can follow me on my Instagram at Age of Jeremy, specifically in my broadcast channel, Dope Insights and Updates. I'm also working on some new other podcasts and really being able to push and redefine the Age of Jeremy brand. So make sure that you subscribe and like to me at Age of Jeremy. You can also find me at Age of Jeremy on X. And I have the Age of Jeremy podcast that comes out most Tuesdays, and the Age of Jeremy Conversations, which come out or working to come out every other Thursday. And I have a great interview with original poetry that's going to be coming out this Thursday. You can listen to me interview him about poetry, his life in poetry, and where he plans to go with it. And make sure that you follow original poetry on all of your social media as well. Make sure you listen to me on the New Wealth Transfer podcast. And don't forget that Mercury is brought to you by Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. And as I always say, be thankful, grateful, and kind. And we'll talk with you guys soon. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.